good.
So what are you going to do if I canoe away now?
Oh, plastic bag. If you paddle away?
Yeah.
Swim with you.
Do you reckon you could catch me?
Maybe not, but I'd definitely make it to the shore.
A stranger gaze glowing from the inside, staring eyes with a little smile. You hide under the sheet, but you still can see him through.
Right, we're floating in front of Hottin Fortress, which was originally built in 1325 and has had little bits and pieces added to it over the centuries. In 1918, Hottin was occupied by 5 different states: the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Russia, Moldova, Ukraine, and Romania. A little piece of trivia about Hottin. Got ourselves a hotel, which is an interesting kind of Soviet era abomination, really. The ensuite has got like a shower head over a toilet. Yeah, we're not really sure how it works either, but just gotta get on with it. It's not too bad. We went looking for petrol for the stove earlier. Went and asked in at a shop, and the guy ended up driving us to a petrol station a kilometre or 2 away, getting the guy to fill it up for us because he said we'd have a problem. Apparently it's against petrol regulations in Ukraine, so they're very strict about that kind of thing. But he sorted that out for us. Then he even dropped us off back at our hotel. Right, we've just got back to where we hid our boat yesterday, and it's been stolen.
Or appears to be. The skeg's on the ground over there. It was tied up in the trees there. We hadn't seen anyone around yesterday. It looked like a pretty safe place. This whole stretch of the riverside is deserted. But we've got here and the boat's missing. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. We left the hotel, came straight here, and it's just not here.
I mean, we only left the boat at what, 2 PM yesterday or something? One maybe. So it's not even been left alone for 24 hours.
And this really scuppers our trip, but we're going to have to do a proper search around here, ask around a bit, just to see if anyone's maybe thought it was a lost boat or something. We're just kind of...
Maybe someone's just chucked it in the water, could have floated downstream, have to have a look for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have to cover all angles. Right, this is our skeg, the little keel that goes on the bottom of our boat to keep us straight. We found it by the waterline like this, which suggests that they've maybe taken the boat and just pushed it into the water. This has fallen out, whatever. It kind of looks like it might be quite recent as it's still wet, yet wasn't in the water.
Right, I've gone round past the castle, which is just at the end of this beach, and asked around for whether anyone's seen a blue canoe. No one has. I've been that way and asked a few people, they haven't, and I really don't think there's very many ways you can get that canoe out of here. It's pretty heavy. There's only really 2 exits. No one's seen it, so our best guess now is that it's been cast into the river, but we can't see it, and it's not really very fast flowing here, so kind of stumped. We're probably going to go and ask the police, or report it to the police in a minute.
I've been combing the bank with a telescope. It's not on the far bank. As far as I can see, it hasn't, well, it's not visible downstream. I've searched the bank as well, and as far as we can tell, it's not there.
This is a true confession of a man that lost his mind. A real regression when it's you that you left behind. But now I'm moving,
We arrived at the police station, and they basically thought the whole thing was a joke.
Yeah.
There was one policeman, well, the policeman behind the counter there had his shirt unbuttoned to about here, was wearing a cross and displaying his tanned body, which wasn't impressive enough to be, on display, really. But anyway, yeah, the other policeman basically just laughed in our faces. Although he did get on the phone to someone who spoke English, and we had a bit of passing the phone between me and him, and she was translating. It mayhem. And then, I went and got Oleg, who we met yesterday, who helped us with our petrol dilemma. He studied in York and is just incredibly helpful, really nice guy.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah, came along to the police station. He knew quite a few of the policemen. Walks in and starts shaking hands and stuff.
Although all Ukrainians seem to shake hands.
Yeah, it's true. He explained our dilemma. And then the ball started rolling. I accompanied 4 policemen to the riverbank, where we searched around, looked for the canoe, asked a few people, but it was fruitless. Nothing turned up. Came back a couple of hours later. Having looked around Hotin Fortress, actually, I'm not really sure how that helped with the canoe search, but we somehow ended up with a tourist trail as well. A lot of cherry eating went on. Policemen generally inept, but came back. Robert had given
Yeah, I gave a statement though. That I was staying with the bags, but basically to guard them.
They weren't even safe in the police station.
Yeah, they weren't even safe in the police station. But then this Ukrainian policeman comes up and says, "You come with me," and he got some English teachers from the local school, and he proceeded to take all my details and stuff via the English teachers as translators, and I had to go through the convoluted retelling of the story we told several times already to tell just for a proper written statement. And then at the end of it all, they printed out the written statement in Ukrainian, and I had to sign it. We haven't got a copy of that, but it turns out we don't need it now because we've got the canoe. Just here.
We got a knock on the hotel room door about 10-15 minutes ago. One of the policemen, Victor, who I went round with earlier, who incidentally drives like a maniac in his battered old Lada, just knocked on the door and said, "Canoe, lodva," or something. A word they keep using, I don't know what it means. And he took us outside, along with the maitre d' as well, who handed our passport back and was smiling and telling us to do things in Ukrainian. We don't know what it was about really, but anyway, we followed Victor downstairs to his car outside. He opens the door,
and the canoe's there. Yeah.
And the canoe's there. It's minus a few valves, but we got spares.
It's not missing anything important, and as far as we know, it's not punctured. We'll need to check that.
It also doesn't seem to be wet. So
no. Yeah, because they told us just before we left, but they told us to go and check back into the hotel because they said you're going to have to stay another day in the Hotin. So we did that, but just before we left, they said, "Oh, we've got a tip from one of their sources, I think, saying that apparently been pushed into the river."
Someone had seen it float by, I think.
But we don't see how that quite ties in because the canoe is pretty much bone dry. So if they just pulled it out of the river, it doesn't really make sense. And they couldn't explain in English how they managed to come by it.
We asked, but
no. Or how it lost its valves.
But anyway, we've got it back. We're happy. We're going to stay in that in Hotin. Yeah, we've lost a day's paddling, so we think we're probably going to get a bus or taxi further downstream.
Probably get close to the dam, which is not far away now, and a lot closer to Moldova. We've just got the bus and a taxi from Hotin. We're just downstream of the big dam on the Dniester. It's actually next to the town of Novodnestrovsk, which was built by the Soviets in 1973 when the production of the dams and the construction of the dam started. Nothing seems to have happened to it since then apart from making it more ugly. We're now by the river. It's quite fast flowing now because it's come through the dam. So we're going to pump up the canoe and try and get back on the water.
It's a weird position, it's a matter you can't contain. Self-repression when your soul wants to hop the train, but now